I think every young person has this phase where they romanticize the tortured artist. Usually these tortured artist types die tragically young, has art that revolves around dark themes, or they're just generally mentally ill. And listen, I was no different. I definitely romanticized these horrible tropes and thought of myself as becoming a tortured artist. It was a deeply unhealthy way of thinking. If I could go back, I would definitely tell myself not to go down that path. But I can't do that. So I'll just try to prevent you guys from going down the path I did instead. And look, I don't want this to turn into a toxic positivity thing either. Not only is it okay to embrace your inner shadow, but it's actually a good thing. But it becomes a bad thing when you wallow in the darkness and fetishize the worst aspects of yourself. There's also nothing wrong with liking art that revolves around dark topics and themes, or even liking artists that had their lives cut short. But understand the beauty comes through their art, not their pain. We all suffer. The unique ways we can express the growth and introspection is where the beauty comes from, not the suffering itself. It's a delicate nuance that can be deeply troubling when it's misused. In other words, the takeaway should be, despite their suffering, the art made by these artists was beautiful, not because of their suffering. I think we consciously understand that pain and mental illness don't create great art in itself, but subconsciously, we're attracted to the idea of this tortured artist trope. Someone who is slowly killing themselves to create something perfect, and that's the only way to be great. Even if that works for you in the short term, it's not sustainable. I was young and impressionable when mental health started being trendy in pop culture. Almost a decade later, it's crazy to me that a song with a chorus saying, "Me to the edge, all my friends are dead," became an anthem to teenagers across the world. But at the time, I thought nothing of it really. It was just pop culture. Well, unfortunately, it is just pop culture until somebody dies. Obviously, these artists did struggle with mental health, but I can't help but wonder if seeing the popularity and acclaim subconsciously told me in order to be an important artist, I had to be self-destructive or self-harming. Otherwise, what was the point to making art? And a more perverse personal reason is I told myself all the pain I felt would be worth it, because it's gonna make me a great artist. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people who want to be creative fall into this very unhealthy way of thinking. I'm here to tell you that there is no justification for your pain and your suffering. Yes, art can be a healthy outlet for healing, but if you view trauma as an investment for creativity, you're not trying to heal. I promise you, you have more to offer the world than resharing your pain, because you're more than that. Don't let the shitty things that happen in your life define you, whether it's something shameful or as a badge of honor. In our bullshit, everything is subjective, deconstructive culture, we forget that there is a point to art. And that point is spiritual enlightenment. Yes, you have to address your pain in order to grow, but wallowing in it to become what you perceive as a tortured artist is not healthy. It's unfortunate to see this happen to Ye in real time. He proclaimed his bipolar disorder was his superpower.
That's my superpower, nigga. Ain't no disability. I'm a superhero.
But that's part of the reason why he can't heal. He refuses to get help, and he's giving credit to the very thing that's hindering his life and maybe even his creativity. Ironically, on this same album, his most beloved song is Ghost Town, which is a song about not feeling pain anymore. I wish Kanye realized this was his superpower. His ability to make people feel empowered through his music. And I hope culturally we can find the light, because I think Kanye and Cudi were really onto something with See Ghosts. It's essentially an album about healing themselves after they checked themselves into psychiatric care. It was sort of the angel on my shoulder that helped me from wallowing in my pain during those teenage years. But the point is, pain and suffering usually hinder lives more than they can create anything great. Our mental illnesses and traumas are parasites that convince us we need them, despite them only ever breaking us down. Please learn from the mistake of glorifying them and understand you don't need that abusive voice in your head to be great at anything you do. Despite pop culture's constant obsession on death and destruction, healing is the most important thing you can do. It's not corny to want to get better. So please heal, bro.